Over 70% of our planet is covered by this incredible world that most of us will never really get to see. It's a world that gives us life, that controls our climate, and holds just so many wonders. But here's the thing, that world is in deep trouble. So today, we're going to dive into the crisis our oceans are facing and more importantly, what it means for every single one of us.
Take a good look at this number, 2050. Now this isn't some distant, abstract future we're talking about. Nope. This is a date that's well within many of our lifetimes, and it represents a pretty terrifying tipping point for our planet's oceans.
I mean, that prediction is just staggering. Just let that sink in for a second. By its actual weight, our oceans could have more plastic in them than fish. We're talking about a future where the sea isn't teeming with life. It's literally swimming in our own garbage.
It's a really tough question to ask, isn't it? Because this didn't happen overnight. It wasn't one single event. It's the result of billions, and I mean billions, of tiny actions that have just piled up over decades. It's really a story about convenience, about consumption, and about us just collectively failing to see where all this was heading.
Okay, so let's break down the scale of this plastic pandemic, because it really is like a rising tide of waste. And to figure out how to stop it, we've got to first understand where it's all even coming from. Look at this number, 8 million. That's how many metric tons of plastic we think enters our oceans every single year. It's a number so huge, it's almost impossible to even wrap your head around.
But this helps put it in perspective. This is what 8 million tons really looks like. Just picture a garbage truck, completely full of plastic. Now imagine it dumping that entire load straight into the ocean. Well, that happens every single minute of every single day.
So, what kind of plastic are we talking about here? Well, the main culprit is single-use plastic. These are the items we use for just a few minutes, things designed for pure convenience that then go on to pollute our planet for hundreds of years. They break down into smaller and smaller pieces, but they never really go away.
And yep, here they are, the everyday culprits. The water bottle you grab on the go, the shopping bag from the store, the lid on your coffee cup, the straw in your drink. Each one seems like no big deal on its own, right? But when you add them all up, they create that relentless, non-stop flood of waste.
So we've seen the scale of the problem, but what's really at stake here? Let's take a look at what we actually stand to lose. Because it's not just a bunch of water, it's a real treasure beneath the waves.
50%. Half. This isn't just a guess. This is the percentage of oxygen on Earth, the very air that you're breathing right this second that is produced by life in the ocean.
Exactly. We always think of rainforests as the lungs of the planet, but the real truth is, our oceans are the main engine for our atmosphere. Every other breath you take, that's a gift from the sea.
And on top of that vital job, we risk losing this entire world of wonder. We're talking about those vibrant, city-like coral reefs, the thousands and thousands of marine species that call the ocean home, the super complex food webs that keep everything in balance, and of course, the ocean's massive role in regulating our global climate.
It's a pretty stark way to put it, but it's true. This isn't some problem for the future. The damage is happening right now. Our planet's own life support system is literally being choked piece by all our junk.
Okay, I know this all sounds incredibly grim. I get it. But the story absolutely does not have to end in disaster. This is the part where we pivot. We're going to shift from the problem to the solution. Let's talk about how we can actually help, how we can turn this tide together.
This right here is the key. You have to remember this. Don't let how huge the problem feels paralyze you into doing nothing. Because while the issue is global, the solutions, they can be incredibly personal. They can start right here with every single one of us. It all boils down to a really simple but powerful mantra. And the order here is absolutely critical. Number one, first and foremost, is to reduce how many of these single-use things you buy in the first place. Then, reuse whatever you can. And finally, as the last resort, recycle what's left over.
And this is where you can see the power of just one person's choice crystal clear. Just look at a daily coffee habit. One way, using a disposable cup every day, leads to a pile of over 365 cups in a landfill every year. The other way, with just one reusable mug, 0. The power is in that simple habit.
So, here it is, your action plan.
4 simple things you can start doing today. These aren't massive sacrifices, right? They're just conscious choices that when millions and millions of us start doing them, add up to a huge wave of positive change.
As we start to wrap up, I want to leave you with this powerful thought. We always frame this whole thing as a mission to save the ocean. But let's be real. The ocean, in some form or another, will probably survive us. The real question is, will we? This is about protecting ourselves.
And that brings us to the final and most important point. It's not really a question of what can be done anymore. It's a question of what you will do. That small swap, that one conscious choice, it all starts with you. So, what's your first step going to be?